So, our first match
is Bully Ray, Tommy Dreamer.
Okay.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Before we go into this, and this is a general question. Besides the impact before Victory Road, is there any build-up to this at all?
Nope.
I mean,
there was one segment with Tommy Dreamer getting pissed at Bully, but that was about it.
Wasn't there? I mean, the last time I saw Bully Ray versus Tommy Dreamer was when the week Sting debuted. Oh my God! No, not even then. It was the first Impact after Bound for Glory, or was it the second? I can't remember.
I don't know. TNA just, as has been previously established, TNA has pretty much gone on record as saying, you know what, our approach to pay-per-views is going to be, they don't make us any money, so we're just not going to give people a reason to see them. We're going to give away all of our main event caliber matches on free TV, and then we're just going to stick whatever on pay-per-view because I guess they have a contract or something and they have to do it.
But if pay-per-views don't give them money, then what does? Desmond Wolfe figures?
Apparently it's the house shows. It's the house shows that make TNA money.
So why are they putting on this type of a product if it doesn't make any sense?
Or money. It just... This show.
Already we've got problems. So, Bully Ray versus Tommy Dreamer, they have a no DQ match, which is basically, an ECW style match.
It was very garbage-like, with the highlight of that match being, of course, the blow-up doll.
I thought you were going to put over Terrence and Terrell in the neck brace, but...
The Bionic Kid.
Again, I couldn't really find this match in time to watch it, but why? Why would you have a blow-up doll? Why would you have a minion? Apparently someone gave Tommy Dreamer a minion.
Yeah.
A minion stuffed animal to beat Bully Ray with.
I don't know. Why did they have a lightsaber battle at fucking Hardcore Justice?
No, they don't saber style.
They think that it's like, oh, we're being funny, it's a joke in the middle of the match. But the reality of it is, this is supposed to be a serious angle. A man put another man's children through hell, through a fucking table. Take it serious!
There is no serious when there's Russo. There's only shooting, brother!
And so...
Also, I know why they had to add that blow-up doll, so they could do the Comedy 69 spot.
Okay, there's a wrestler, not kidding, there's a wrestler over in Japan who is a blow-up doll, who has who actually has wins on its record.
But that's not serious. But that in that company, that kind of thing, that is a legitimately only comedy kind of place. It's not.
This is not.
It's not TNA.
No, this is supposed to be serious, brother. If you don't put asses in the seats, you're not worth a damn. Hey, Hulk, your main show that you tape every 2 weeks or for 4 shows or whatever, that's for free. That's not making you money. So, Tommy Dreamer wins with an assist from Devon.
They give what appears to be the lamest looking 3D that has ever been given before with Devon and Tommy Dreamer executing it.
Executing being a very loose definition of the word.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Have a problem with it. I don't know. I think there's a case of just hating it just to hate it. Like, it was what it was. It was a friggin' assisted cutter.
Yo. Actually, we forgot one of the funniest parts of this match. In a street fight, no DQ match, there was a rope break.
Oh, I forgot that part.
Yes, Ray nailed a big boot on Dreamer, but when he was being pinned, Dreamer was able to grab the bottom rope, and that broke the pin.
Here's the thing about this match. It wasn't terrible, you know? It wasn't like... It was your average hardcore match between these two individuals. It wasn't... We're exaggerating a little bit about how bad it was. For a pay-per-view opener, it could have been better, but it wasn't fucking terrible, you know? Or am I wrong about that?
Honestly, I didn't mind the match. There were some problems, like the Despicable Me cameo. Of course, that just reminded me how much I'd rather go see Despicable Me than watch a TNA pay-per-view.
I should go watch that movie. Next time there's a TNA pay-per-view, I know what I'm doing.
Alright, after the match, backstage, Christy Hemme was interviewing the TNA Knockouts tag team champions, yes, Winner and Love, I believe. I don't know.
Angelina Love.
So interchangeable. Now, one thing I want to say is the difference in outfits between Love and Sky and Winter. Holy crap.
Winter looked kind of hot. I made this comment in the Skype chat that the reason why she looked like she did, the reason why she looks kind of so hot was because no one else wears ring gear like that. Like, she was wearing a one-piece kind of deal. And it kind of suited her, and it was better than when she was fucking wearing that, like, fur thing.
The fur bestial, I'll just call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, compared to the fact that frickin' Angelina Love was just standing there literally in bras and panties.
Yeah. Oh, but we get on to the next match, which was Angelina Love and Winter versus Sarita and Rosita for the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, which I actually forgot existed.
Highlight of this match, in a match with two Canadians, a German who was raised in England, and an American who was heel, the crowd started chanting USA.
Wow. You know what the worst part of this match was? When it first started, I specifically made the comment, I was like, well, you know what, guys, to be honest, we're ragging on this show, but, you know, the beginning of this match, it hasn't been too bad. And as soon as I said that, oh my god.
I think I've asked this before, but are they breaking up the beautiful people?
They seem to be kind of easy to that. But to go back to the finish this match, now I'm trying to straighten this out.
The finish? What about the rest of the match?
Yeah, let's talk about Winter's Northern Lights suplex, bridging Northern Lights suplex. That was a good one.
Oh, that was a very impressive move.
Unfortunately, he didn't save the rest of the crap that happened in this fucking match.
Winter was definitely the performer of the night there. It shows that WWE made a mistake in letting her go basically for no reason.
No. There was a reason. Vince couldn't get his incest storyline. but don't get me wrong. Katie Lee is a very versatile wrestler. She's very good from what I've seen her do. Unfortunately, she's in TNA, which seems to be under the the thought process of, oh, you're a woman. Just go out there and shake your ass. Hey, you're a huge black woman. You can actually go with men. Unfortunately, Spike TV doesn't want us to have men and women fighting each other, so go beat up this little Asian girl.
Speaking of
hey, those matches were good. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I know, but still, I mean, think of it.
It
awesome.
didn't get bad until they decided, you know what? We'd rather have Bubba the Love Sponge than Awesome Kong.
Yeah.
But actually, it's funny you mentioned Spike and TNA's attitude towards women, because if you saw Winter, like, she tried to sort of mimic the beautiful people and point towards her ass, but she looked really uncomfortable.
No, and
quite honestly.
Would you be comfortable having to point at your ass with the words "juicy" written all over it?
Well, hey, I'm not a woman, but I guess
probably not. But
so,
this match was a botch fest. This is why we're not talking about it, because comes a point at this match where it completely comes apart at the seams. It gets so bafflingly bad that we were all saying, what the hell is going on?
Alright. I'm trying, like I said a bit earlier, I'm trying to straighten out the finish in my head because it was so disjointed that I don't know if I remember it happening in the correct order it actually happened.
Alright, go for it.
Alright. From what I recall, Rosita hits a cheap shot on Angela from the outside, and then she tags into the match. Angela Love avoids the leg drop. Winter tags in, and they do a double team on her. Love argues with Hebner, and he was working really hard not to see the upcoming shenanigans here. And Sarita goes outside for a title belt. Love and Sarita fight outside while the referee is still distracted. He's distracted for like 3 goddamn...
He's distracted forever.
Basically, yes. Rosita... Now this is my favorite part because, as most wrestling fans know, when you hit a person with the title, you kind of bull rush them into the head with it with the faceplate.
Mm-hmm.
However, Rosita has it hanging over her head like she's about to drop the executioner's axe on Winter, but then all of a sudden, Velvet Sky runs in and stops it, which allows Winter to grab Rosita and pull her for a roll-up. However, since the ref is still distracted, going on at least 4 minutes now, Sarita runs in, tips them over with massive inverted air quotes. And then Rosita sits on her, despite the fact that Winter could easily just slide out of the way. And eventually Hebner notices, 1, 2, 3, we have our new tag champs, Sarita and Rosita.
Yay!
I mean, I'm happy
What the fuck?
I'm going to be happy to see him wrestle with them if TNA would actually feature the belts. I mean, they're probably the best.
Not if they're going to botch as much as they did.
Yeah, but they're certainly the best team since Hamada and Taylor Wilde, which says...
Oh, I should mention that, I forgot to mention this part during my breakdown of it. Sky clearly missed her cue, because Rosita was standing there with the belt for at least 25 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow. Nobody cared. Nobody cared in this match.
Sitting there doing nothing. What happened in the Knockouts division? What happened?
Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
No. That's not what happened. There's only one thing that happened. Russo happened. Russo has a huge problem with women. Okay? It's been plainly obvious for years. He believes that women are nothing but eye candy, piss spray, they're just basically,
cock.
Yeah, exactly. They're there to tease the male audience. They're there to shake their asses and just look good. If you have a woman who can actually wrestle, like say Katie Lee or Taylor Wilde or Gail Kim, they won't get the recognition they deserve. Hell, they won't even get the fucking money they deserve.
Or the job.
And again, they'll do the job, but they won't get paid for the job. There is a huge disconnect between, I mean, even in the WWE. The WWE's Divas division is not quite, it's okay. It's a million roads better than TNA's Knockouts division.
It really is, because at least in WWE, they pretend that it's important, and they do give at certain point when you've earned it. They do give certain women their due. You know,
Yeah.
They gave Natalya a run with the belt. They take it seriously. They take it seriously when it needs to be taken seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike TNA, which they just don't care. They don't care.
No.
I think that's what's the most annoying part about it, is that they don't give a fuck.
And we're about to see that very soon. But after the Knockouts match, we had a pre-tape segment with Jared and Kurt and the kids.
Jared and Karen and the kids.
Oh, sorry.
Then again, she has such a case of fucking man face.
It might have been Kurt Angle. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys this: where would this segment actually belong on?
Explosion.
Reaction.
Okay.
Reaction.
Right. Reaction. This when you're in a pay-per-view, you do not have multiple pre-tape segments of two people who aren't even involved with your pay-per-view,
Farting around, basically.
who are just basically at Universal Studios, you know, the theme park they're in, running around, showing, we have marital difficulties because Jeff wants to spend time with the kids and apparently Karen wants to
Now, to sum up, because there was more than one of these, but to sum them all up basically, is that Jeff Jarrett is actually acting like a good father, and Karen Jarrett is hating him for it.
Yeah.
So, as far as I can tell, and at the end, on the last one, because we're not going to recap them all when they come up, I'm just going to recap them all right now.
Yeah.
Jarrett, of all things coming out of nowhere, saying, you know what, I feel sorry for Kurt. I shouldn't have done those things. I respect him. We should go find him, and we should all be a good family again. So, are they turning face?
No, they're not being serious about that. That's just...
I don't care if they're not, or if they are, if they're not. This is idiot.
And Karen Jarrett's coming off as just this bitchiest, sluttiest, worst mother on earth during these things, which I guess that's what they're trying to do.
Jarrett, Jeff, I don't want to take care of my children. I just want to make you fuck.
Yeah, go figure.
I want to go fuck on the Hulk roller coaster. Do you think we could get them to let us do that? Because Islands of Adventures is also in Universal Studios. I want to go fuck at Harry Potter's theme rides. Come on, let's do it.
God.
I want to ride your magic broomstick, Karen.
Okay,
Karen.
let's stop now. Now I'm getting ill. Now I'm
Let's go to the other shitty match.
But yeah, to sum it up, Jarrett's coming off as an incredibly nice guy, and we don't know why. But now...
I said last night I thought it was weird because essentially we know Kurt doesn't have the best relationship with his kids. We know now they're showing Karen doesn't have the best relationship with his kids, with her kids. It's Jeff Jarrett's the only parent here. What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. So, moving on. Hey, everybody, want to have a first blood match between Hernandez versus Matt Morgan?
Hold it. Matt Morgan had a promo. Which the highlight is where he talks about reclaiming the TNA World Heavyweight title, which is hilarious considering that Matt Morgan's probably about as far away from the TNA World title as frickin' Orlando Jordan and Eric Young, although Eric Young does have the real title belt still.
I would actually say that Matt Morgan is as close to the TNA title belt as I am right now. Okay?
And both of you would still be closer than Jay Lethal.
Oh.
Actually, both of us would be closer than Ken Anderson. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Hernandez versus Matt Morgan in a first blood match. Okay. I get this. They've teased this for a while. And, great, we're going to have this. This is going to be the big blow-off match, because when you have like a gimmicky match like a first blood match, it pretty much means the feud is over, right?
Under most booking theory, yes.
In this, no.
Well, let's start with the beginning, which, as No Leaf has pointed out, was generally good. It was kind of a big guys match. One point I kind of liked is when Hernandez broke out the broken frickin'
kendo stick?
No, it wasn't a broken candlestick. It was a broken mop handle. It was a broken mop handle. It kind of was sharpened to a spear, and they sort of did that, keeping you from jamming it in my head spot. But it looked like to me and the world that Hernandez was trying to get Morgan to suck on his rod.
Okay, so we have a good beginning, and then it just falls apart.
Once again, the always shooting philosophy of Vince Russo, a fan plant runs into the ring.
It was a plant?
It was a plant.
Yes.
It was a plant. I mean, I originally thought it was a shoot because they didn't show him on camera after he was being let out.
Well, they kind of did. I mean...
But then the ref went out with him, and that's as soon as I knew it was a plant.
And here's the thing that kills me. Okay. Hernandez gets busted open first.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Not a big gash, but technically any blood in a first blood counts.
Right. Then he sprays... He knocks out... Apparently, he either knocks out... I can't... Someone explain to me how this works.
The ref was busy with the fan.
Right, quote-unquote.
And so Morgan was looking at him. He turned around, and Hernandez shot a packet of ketchup at him.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
And the ref sees this, and that's...
Worse than that, the ref looks square at frickin' Hernandez, who is bleeding, then turns around, sees that Morgan is covered in ketchup on his chest of all places. Oh no, his abs, of all places, and calls for the bell, because that's blood. Because, yeah.
Oh,
there was no puncture wound!
Oh, yeah, there's more. Jackson James actually goes up to Matt Morgan and rubs his hand all over his chest. He's like, blood, see? You can't fool me.
Guys, I would like to make you aware of this, but I have decided that I'm going to start a counter for you guys, so that you know exactly where I'm at with this, with my rage. It will end with parkour rage.
Oh.
We are at mild, spoony disappointment levels of rage.
All right, sounds good. I agree with that. But yeah,
I will update you this as my rage continues to build.
This match, there was no wound. How many non-finishes did we have on this pay-per-view? Or
so far one. So far one.
One non-finish.
What about, no, the Knockouts match had a fucking bullshit finish.
Okay, if we're going with bullshit finishes, we got 1, 2, all but one basically, because
we've had out of the 3 matches discussed so far, we've had 2 bullshit finishes.
Bully Ray got pretty decisively beat in the street fight with Tommy Dreamer.
Yeah, and the Knockouts match, the less said about that, the better. We've already wasted way too much time on that. Yes. Up next, we go backstage with Christy. Oh my god, I'm so glad you're not wrestling, but I'd love to look at you, Hemi.
With Gen Me, or as we call them, Generation Jobbers.
Yeah, and apparently they're teasing break up with them.
All because their plane happened to have the audacity not to take them all the way to Orlando.
Yeah.
How dare that airplane? Do they know who the fuck TNA is?
I'm going to tell you guys this.
Once we get to the meat of what happened last night, that's going to make it look so much worse.
I'm going to tell you guys right here. This match apparently was a rematch for the whole X Division title fiasco that happened last month.
Right.
And they decided, well, you know what, we'll make it a championship match, and hey, it's an Ultimate X match.
Because
by the way.
Because gimmicks, baby.
Well, no, here's the thing. The Ultimate X is the X Division signature match that TNA has. It is actually the one good match type that I am glad TNA introduced to the world.
No love for the reverse battle royal?
What about the King of the Mountain match? I mean, penalty boxes?
Up there.
Reverse ladder match?
Hey, you know what? Rage update.
Uh-oh.
We have approached Linkara.
Oh, shit.
Reading a Brumsky comic level of rage.
There's an obscure reference for you.
I know.
But yes. Then we move back to another backstage area.
Yeah, with Kazarian.
Who talks about how he's going to make his career winning this match, which Kazarian, that's sad because that's true.
And at the beginning of this month, didn't Tracy Brooks come back?
She did.
Okay.
She came back, knocked herself out with her tits, and then disappeared.
And apparently, so Jeremy Boresh, all sad because his friend, the inflatable blow-up doll, is receiving medical attention in the backstage area. You know,
that reminds me. Sorry, you have to go all the way back to the Bully Ray match.
Yeah,
because I just want to make this one comment. Technically, Dreamer didn't win that match. The blow-up doll did. It had Bully Ray down for a 3 count, and they should have counted it. Damn it!
I know, but Jeremy Boresh, talks to Kazarian. He wants to ask him a few questions. Kazarian's like, "Hold on, Jeremy. I want to ask you a couple questions." Yeah, I'll ask you some questions. No, Kazarian, just no. Be a part of Fortune. Be the X Division champion. Be better get more screen time than Jay Lethal. And stop
getting your hair tips from Orlando Jordan
and Scott Hall. And then we go back
to DNA tips.
Oh, right.
Then we go back to a third backstage segment,
which is a pre-tape segment. Apparently, Cookie's like, I don't want you to be in this match, Robbie. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling the fist pump.
Well, she really wants the title back because she wants. The way they framed it is that Cookie really wants the title, but Robbie E doesn't really give a shit. Which led to my theory that Cookie was eventually going to go over for the title, but we'll get more on that later. And it ends with Cookie asking if they have any alcohol at the amusement park. Classy, TNA. Classy.
Very classy. So we have an X Division match, and yeah. It's an X Division match.
It's an incredibly bad spot fest. Now, I'll say this. I have a high tolerance for spot matches, but even I was rolling my eyes as this went along.
Fair enough.
I don't think it's fair to say it was a bad match. It wasn't a bad match. It was just a spot fest that we've seen dozens of times before.
There was no rhyme and reason for it. Like, how many times did we see a guy jump off the rope to do a move rather than going for the belt? Maybe we shouldn't be skipping this far ahead in the match, but the match really was all spots. That stupid part where both the Bucks are fighting each other while the title is in between them.
Yeah. They're hanging from the X, and they're apparently having an argument about who's gonna bring the belt down. It's gonna be me. No, it's gonna be me. Whatever. No one cares. And the belt is literally right between them. All one of them has to do is grab it. But since it's a spot fest, there's no psychology in this match, and they don't do it.
Psychology.
But
just an attempt.
So near the finish of this match, something that actually you were saying a lot, Nobi, Robbie E actually breaks out the ladder.
I was saying that I don't get why no one ever, they've done it once where someone bought a ladder into the match.
Because then it wouldn't be fair.
So the finish is that Robbie E and Kazarian are racing for the belt. The Bucks are fucking dead, I guess.
Yeah,
And
they killed themselves.
is ripping off Christopher Daniels walking on the ropes with the superstructure spot, and Robbie E's climbing up the ladder. And eventually they both reach the belt, and then they start struggling for it, and then Kazarian wins. He just wins the tug of war, I guess.
Yeah.
And there's your X Division match.
Again, I want to reiterate this because I feel kind of bad sometimes because this wasn't a bad match. It was just a match that we've all seen a zillion times before.
It was an indie match, and TNA shouldn't be putting on indie matches.
Well, it'd be a lot better than what they put on now. So we go back. We've already recapped all the Jarrett honeymoon. This is the Jarrett honeymoon, folks, by the way.
Right.
Takes your kids on a honeymoon.
And, well, backstage, Christy Hemme is whooping it up with beer money. They do the beer money taunt, and then they want Christy to do the same. And for whatever reason, Christy Hemme bends over this. So beer money becomes, but sad!
I love Christy Hemme. I have loved her since the day she first appeared within my visual cortex. But she's got a lot of, she's taken a lot of shit over the years, and this is just another blow.
Oh, believe me, she's not taking it in stride. Like, she looked disgusted after that. Like, she had this, like...
Well, for just to say this, the segment was supposed to be funny. I actually kind of liked this segment. You know, maybe it's just because I like beer money, and I like the fact that they weren't just, doing nothing.
They were showing charisma, no leaf, and in this and this pay-per-view, that's an incredible feat.
Right. It doesn't take a lot for Rude to show charisma. I mean, the guy has it in spades. They just don't exhibit it.
No.
When he goes off the script to tell what he probably thinks of higher management, it's quite funny.
Yeah. So we have Ink Inc. versus Beer Money. Ink Inc. basically said on 3/3/11, we're going for your titles because do you know about the book of Dilligap or whatever the fuck Shannon Moore's made up philosophy is? You know, do I look like I give a fuck? No, Shannon. You look ridiculous.
You look like you absolutely need to get approval from somebody.
I mean, let's face it. I mean, I don't know if we could include some pictures of Shannon Moore over the years, but remember when he first debuted with 3 Count, working illegally for WCW because he was underage?
Yeah. I remember when he was working with Matt Hardy in version 1.
He was a magic caller.
Remember that? Oh, remember that? And now look at him. Tattooed out the ass, using a mohawk that you could probably use as an illegal weapon.
The Shannon Saw.
Dressed up in... Yeah.
Shannon Saw is ready.
Dressed up in clothing designed by his equally insane wife.
Glam Road Warrior. That's what he's going for.
That's actually a good way to put it. I was thinking, what could it be called? And that works.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, and Jesse Neal.
Dude. I like Jesse Neal because, as they pointed out, he looked like a Spartan. It looked like he was wearing a freaking Spartan helmet.
Jesse Neal, I actually like watching Jesse Neal and Shannon Moore work together. I don't like their look. Let's be perfectly honest with you guys. I don't like their look. But I do like how they work together. They work together so freaking well, which is amazing because Jesse Neal is, well, compared to Shannon, huge. I mean, he is just huge.
Yeah. You know what? When we were in the Skype chat, we said it, and it pretty much came true that this was pretty much the match of the night. It was a well put together match, very well paced, not a spot fest.
Yeah,
I was certainly was this match. Beer Money and Ink Inc. worked well together.
Yeah,
and
they had no reason to work together.
And probably what was really good about it is the finish wasn't fucked.
Yeah. No, it was apparently it was well planned out. But, and then apparently Moore holds up his book of Do I Look Like I Give a Fuck, yells at Neil to hold up Rude, and then Storm breaks it up and they hit the DWI, and, then after the match, this is where things kind of break down.
I didn't think it broke down because they've been kind of pushing this for a while now that Beer Money and Jesse Neal, they like each other and work together, and they respect each other, but Shannon Moore doesn't.
This is what I'm gonna say again. Okay, so far, Victory Road has teased 3 things. Okay, they've teased the breakup of the Beautiful People. They've teased the breakup of Jen Me. Now they're teasing the breakup of Ink Inc. Because at the end of the match, Beer Money offers a beer to Ink Inc. Neil takes it. Moore grabs it, sips it, and then spits it in Storm's face, and then screams at Jesse Neal.
Well, it's art imitating life. It makes Shannon Moore look like an immature douchebag.
Yeah, and unfortunately...
Isn't that a great gimmick to have? The poser asshole.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we go to backstage where Christy Hemme has to spend time with Ric Flair and cold-blooded Matt Hardy.
Nope, not cold-blooded, just cold blood.
Oh, right. I've read Cold Blood Matt Hardy.
Go back to the little breakup. If Jesse Neal did team with Beer Money, would they have to be called Beer Money Inc. Inc.?
Well, they're already Beer Money Incorporated.
Well,
so
wouldn't it be Beer Money Inc. Inc. Inc.?
Yeah. There's so many permutations, and we're trying to desperately to avoid a Matt Hardy promo, aren't we?
You want to know what the fucking Matt Hardy promo is? Boo fucking who, WWE fired me and Lita doesn't want to suck my cock anymore. That's the fucking Matt Hardy promo.
Wait, no, you forgot one part of the promo.
Segment.
You forgot one part of the promo, No Leaf.
What?
AJ's a kid, even though he's only 4 years younger than me.
Yes, wait, I was just about to look that up. How old is AJ Styles?
He's like 30-something.
30-something.
Okay, I'm going to the Wikipedia. I'm going to the wiki.
It's a 4-year difference. There's not much more to say, but it's like Matt Hardy is boo-hooing about WWE firing him when he wanted that, and so if he has to complain about that now, then obviously he might not be in the right place. Why don't you just be like MVP, go to Japan, be like Loki, keep your dignity? I mean,
dignity.
Because Matt Hardy has no dignity. Okay, yeah, it is a 4-year difference. Matt is 36, while AJ is 32.
Yeah, you're so much the grizzled veteran compared to AJ, Matt.
That's all Matt Hardy says anymore. I've had some hardships in my life. My best friend fucked my girlfriend because I'm a head case.
I'm sorry, Matt, but once all the facts came out, Lita made the right goddamn move.
Yeah. I do not.
We could argue about that, but
no, we can't. Clearly, Lita made the right choice.
Okay. We'll keep going under that assumption.
Yeah. Why didn't you stay with Ashley Massaro? It seemed like she actually wanted him. She was crazy for that guy because when she was with Paul London, she wouldn't stop talking about Matt.
Oh, there's issues with Ashley up the ass. But so Matt Hardy with Ric Flair versus AJ Styles.
This was a good match.
This was a good match. Ric Flair is kind of being a goofball. The spot I remember most is when Flair went for a nut grab, and when we say nut grab, he went for a nut grab.
Oh, yeah.
He put a vice grip on AJ's little boys.
Incidentally,
he had a big handful of AJ's nuts.
Incidentally, AJ's nuts bigger than Hulk Hogan's right now.
Hey, it wasn't the joke you were expecting there, No Leaf.
I guess.
But after that spot, it was a pretty normal match. One thing that we really noticed is that Matt Hardy's upper body is really getting toned, but he still has his gut.
He is going to have his gut until somebody puts him in a crunch machine, sets it on 50, and then walks away for about an hour.
When away, they're going to have to stand there with a shotgun to make sure he stays there and not goes and gets his grapes.
No. They're going to strap him into the crunch machine, then walk away and read a book. After about an hour, they'll come back, and if he's still alive, that gut gone. He might not be able to move for a few weeks, but it'll be gone. So apparently AJ forgot he has, the Styles Clash because, he wins with his flying, the spiral tap, which is, I think, his flying clothesline, I want to say?
It's a 450 corkscrew senton, I think.
Oh, okay. Alright, so he wins with the spiral tap. You know what? I like the... I'm going to tell you guys right this. Of the various AJ Styles finishing moves, I like the Styles Clash.
Oh my!
Well,
I never liked it.
Look at Matt Hardy. How the fuck can he lift him up?
Well, Trevor Murdoch did attempt to hit a Canadian destroyer on Matt Hardy at one point.
Oh,
and he botched it.
Well, that was because it's Trevor Murdoch. So after AJ Styles wins with the spiral tap, Ric Flair comes in. And, well, just goes nuts, which means it's average.
Flair.
Yeah.
I will chop your mouth closed. Sorry.
And then AJ Styles says, no, drops to his knees and gives Flair the low blow.
Of course, Flair, apparently in his old age, needs a second or two to register the fact that his balls have just been crushed.
And, well, once your nuts have been crushed, apparently this was a huge low blow, so, yeah.
Well, true, because Flair was selling it like they popped afterwards.
And he's like, wait, are they still there? I think they are! Hey, guys, my rage my rage is increasing.
Well, we're starting to get to the good part of the show.
Okay, guys.
But going back there, am I the only one that think AJ Styles should have yelled, "I don't know you! That's my purse!"
Yeah, that would have been kind of awesome. Guys, my rage right now is at Nostalgia Critic reviewing Excalibur.
Oh, I thought you were going to say bad credit
not
card.
Quite that high.
We have Mr. Anderson versus Rob Van Dam for the number one contendership.
But before this, there was another backstage segment. God, yeah. If someone just put all the things in and removed all the references to Victory Road, would you know that this was a pay-per-view?
No, because this is an episode of Impact, a bad episode of Impact. Okay? That's where it's going. And this is why I'm at Nostalgia Critic reviewing Excalibur levels of rage. And if you all remember the spot where he went explain,
mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at. Okay? But
the
reason
of all,
is
Mr. Anderson, sorry to cut you off there, but Mr. Anderson cuts, well, I don't even want to say a promo because he just swore at Christy Hemming for like fucking 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Once again, poor Christy Hemme.
Basically, if you really want to know what he said something like asshole, 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 asshole.
Douchebags, nice guys, finish last, but I finish first because I'm an asshole. Which, speaking of that, maybe you should go talk to Beer Money about finishing first of an asshole.
Yeah. Why are they having this match? And this is where the rage comes into play. Before 3/3/11, Mr. Anderson won a number one contenders match between him, Rob Van Dam, and Kurt Angle. Do we all remember this?
Wait,
Do
what?
we?
I don't.
I
What are you
do.
talking about?
He won a number one contenders match. He was going to do this on 3/3/11. Instead, we had Sting show up. And
oh, yeah, I almost forgot about that.
yeah, okay. Ken Anderson is also the former TNA World Heavyweight Champion. So is Rob Van Dam is technically still the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, but that's besides the point. The point is, there is no goddamn reason to continually teasing us with these number one contenders match if you're not gonna fucking honor them.
And it just gets
Honor?
worse.
Yeah, it just gets worse.
So this match is, honestly, I didn't mind it. RVD and Anderson still have talent.
It was a kind of match for me.
But
I wasn't.
probably because RVD and Anderson knew the finish and really didn't give a shit after learning that.
Well, see,
Yeah.
I think that you could say that about a lot of RVD matches these days because, like Spoonie said, it pretty much is just a situation of him setting up and then doing the pose and getting attacked for it. It happened in this match at least 2-3 times.
And this match ends
Oh.
double count out.
Double count out.
Now, when it comes to the count out, I want to point this out. You always know when a count out spot is coming because when it's not supposed to happen and the ref's just doing it, it's 1 beat, 2. In this one, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. You know,
Yeah.
so it's pretty bloody obvious what's coming a mile away.
But what amazes me is then they both get back in the ring and they're like, "Give us more time, ref! Give us more time!" And the ref's like, "No, we've got a main event. We can't do this right now."
Yeah, we got to save time for the main event.
Wait, hold the phone. Before we get to that, we'll sizzle a little bit more. But before we get to that, if you look on the Wikipedia page and the poster for the show, Kurt Angle's on it.
Was he nowhere?
There was a reference to him. That was it.
Yeah.
That was all. Apparently, Kurt Angle wasn't important enough to have warrant anything other than a fucking mention on this show.
I do admit that did mean I was wrong about expecting some Kurt Angle amusement park shenanigans, which makes me sad.
That makes me sad too because it would be perfect for that to show that Kurt's not over this whole humiliation thing or what have you, or you know what? Why don't you never do this angle ever again? But Anderson and Rob Van Dam are going, no, give us more time. And they're just like, no, we've got to save time for the main event. And Taz tunes in with, well, make sure you tune in Thursday on Impact to find out the status of the number one contendership.
That's what we watched the fucking pay-per-view for!
So, basically saying, you know what, all you people who made money, go screw yourselves. It's gonna be
all you people who paid money for this pay-per-view, yeah, you just got fucked over. I didn't even see the damn thing and I want my money back. I can't imagine the people who paid for this thing feel right now.
Oh, I read one person literally threw a shoe at the TV.
So we then have a video highlight package about Jeff Hardy losing his TNA championship to Sting, and he's like, I will be prepared and will bring everyone back to reality tonight because I am the Antichrist of wrestling.
And he had
shades
on. He had those shades on, and we were going, why did he have those shades on? Well, I guess we figured out why he had those fucking shades on.
Hold it. Can't spoil the surprise, No Leaf.
Yeah. So we have the overly long introduction for the challenger Jeff Hardy and the champion Sting. Sting. And then Bischoff comes out. And he wants to talk to everybody.
He's so pissed.
Because of the network, quote unquote.
So, you know what? If that's what if the network's going to throw a wrench to my plans, I'm going to throw a wrench in their plans. And I'm going to make this a DQ. Let me lower my mic. Sting, you're going to have to pin him right away. He's fucked.
And Sting's like, okay, do I need to do anything to you? Yeah, hit me. Okay, I will. And Sting decks Bischoff with the right hand and then starts stomping on his hand.
And then we have about 4 minutes of Jeff Hardy pretending to throw his shirt out to the fans. Stands there looking pissed.
We're getting there. The rage is rising. The rage is rising.
You know, I've reached a zen moment with this, so I'm going to let you guys two handle it.
So Sting pulls Hardy out by his hair, and it's like, you know what? We gotta end this quickly. Hits the death drop and then pins him.
And
this match took a total of 88 seconds. We are at parkour levels of rage.
Our dear listeners, I'm just going to step back and let these two explain what happened.
How fucking dare they? How dare they do what they did? How do you even excuse yourself? I can't imagine paying for the show in any form. I would want to punch someone in the face. I would hop over the ring, over the fucking barrier, and I would punch Jeff Hardy in the face. What a fucking disgrace. As if TNA wasn't a big enough goddamn joke. Really? Apparently. Really? This is what you want to do, TNA? Really?
Apparently. The reason they had this finish, or...
It's not a fucking finish. It's a disgrace.
It wasn't even a start. It was a disgrace. You're right. You're completely right. The reason is, Jeff Hardy, on a house show or a dark match or something that we'll never get to see because, you know, it's not televised, hurt his back. So he was high on painkillers and drunk off his ass. Okay, I get that. And I get that you have to have a main event that's, you want to go with what's advertised because, you know, you're fucking retards. But you know what? You could have had Bischoff come out there before Hardy came out there and said, due to the fact that Jeff Hardy is, I don't know, unable to
you could have lied. You could have lied.
You said Anderson beat him up, because that's what Anderson has been doing for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, you could have said, due to the actions of a certain asshole or something, Jeff Hardy will not be competing in this main event. Instead, Sting, you'll be taking on the number one contender from Immortal, and out comes Jeff Jarrett. I don't want to see Jeff Jarrett wrestle, but I would rather see that than this. And this leads me right to the Shadow Conspiracy.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
all right. The Shadow Conspiracy. And I know nobody knows this because I haven't talked about it till now. The Shadow Conspiracy states, during a one night, many years ago, I had a drunken AIM conversation with Raven. He was drunk. I was underage. He specifically stated that when he picks up his checks for TNA, they are signed Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Which leads me to which led to the revelation that Vince is the one who owns TNA. Now there is precedent for this. He did help. Hold on. He did help fund ECW for a while
because they were in his fucking developmental territory.
Let him finish, No Leaf. Let him finish.
Let me finish on this one. But even if Dixie Carter is the dumbest wrestling mark to ever get her hands on enough money to hire writers, hire wrestlers, and actually start a wrestling company. This shit right here can only be the work of an evil genius, which, as we've all seen, Vince is ruthless when it comes to business. He knows that without competition, his product, as shitty as it is, will look even worse without anybody else to compare it. So if you have something like TNA, where they're being helmed by fucking Vince Russo, the man who almost single-handedly killed a wrestling company. Granted, he had help with Eric Bischoff, but Vince is known for trying to undermine, for trying to destroy rivals, because he knows that he needs to have full total control. But nowadays he doesn't have a legitimate threat, so he buys up shares in Panda Energy, or he creates a shell company called Panda Energy, and he sends this dumbass bitch Dixie Carter saying, "Hey, run this company. You can do whatever the fuck you feel like. I don't even care if it makes me lose money. I just need some form of competition so that my product looks better." And it kills me. It kills me. If this is true, if Victory Road is not the final nail in the coffin for TNA, I will be amazed. I am amazed. I will be amazed at anybody who fucking funds this, who finds cause to defend this. Oh, well, it's TNA, it's not WWE. You know what? Fuck it. The WWE at its worst is better than this shit. I am literally angry with rage right now.
I don't think that that's true.
I would also like to add that 9/11 happened because they wanted to steal gold from underneath the World Trade Towers, according to
Hey, you know what?
Hey,
Hans Gruber was a bastard. He didn't die during the Tokyo Tower explosion. There, I said it. That's the plot of this is the plot of Die Hard. What are we up to? 4? 5?
5.
5.
Die Hard 5.
Vince, here's what I'll say about that before we get back to this. I know everyone says Vince doesn't like that Vince is cutthroat and he doesn't like Vince didn't do anything in the 80s that he didn't tell anyone that he was going to do. When Vince was upfront and honest, he gave everybody a chance. He said, "Look, I would like to buy your company. I want you to employ your wrestlers. You'll get a cut of the profits. You'll get some money. You'll probably have enough money to live forever. And if you don't sell to me, that's it. I'm not going to try to put you out of business, but because I will take all your wrestlers, because they can make more money with me and have better benefits with me, you will die, your company will die anyways." Vince McMahon doesn't have the time to even fathom making a creation like TNA, to hire people that he fucking hates. He hates Hulk Hogan. He's not a big fan of Eric Bischoff. When he hired Vince Russo, when he rehired Vince Russo in 2002,
he kept his ass on a fucking leash.
The writing staff threatened to fucking leave. Up and leave. Vince McMahon, for all the bad shit Vince has done, and I'm not saying Vince is a saint, he does want legitimate competition. He does want something to press him. He's that kind of guy. He wants someone to come up and challenge him somehow. But this company seems hell-bent on failing by itself. Dixie Carter isn't hired by Vince McMahon. Dixie Carter was scammed by Jerry Jarrett, who wanted to fucking buy a company for his son to main event in because his fucking son burned every goddamn bridge he had. And then Jeff Jarrett surrounds himself with nothing but the very people that somehow, for some reason, continued to push this guy that couldn't draw flies to dog shit. That's what TNA is. It's this insane creation to feed the ego of a man who should be working at a goddamn GameStop, not running a company.
Could you imagine Jeff Jarrett? Could you imagine Jeff Jarrett working at GameStop, though?
If you want to get the Power Up Rewards card, gotta pay $15. Get it.
Guys, I have this to say. Because, according to Jericho, Vince really does want TNA to be better, to provide a better challenge. Do you think he watched this, stood up, and started crying at the effort that TNA is putting out?
I think every wrestling. I think there are people who aren't even aware of TNA right now. After Victory Road ended, just started weeping, and they're like, "What?" And somebody looked at him and go, "Dude, what the fuck are you crying?" I don't know. I think it has something to do with wrestling. Man, wrestling's gay. I know. I don't know why I'm weeping. Because that's how bad this shit has gotten.
I don't know what happened. I don't understand. I don't understand why they would even let Jeff Hardy go out into the fucking Impact Zone in the condition that he was in. He shouldn't have been. Just send him home. Say, you know what, Jeff? We're going to get you a plane ticket. We're going to send you home. We're going to deal with you later. And they won't fire him. Oh, my God.
Speaking of that, guess what his punishment is going to be?
Sent home with pay.
Sent home with pay. A.K.A. a vacation.
Yeah. Paid vacation. Paid vacation. You know, I'm going to say this. I have been a fan of Jeff Hardy for many, many years. I love the man. Yeah, he is. I mean, the reason why I literally got into wrestling was not because of The Rock or Stone Cold. It was because of the goddamn triple triangle ladder match at WrestleMania 2000. But now, a short 11 years later, I'm ashamed to admit that. I'm ashamed to go, yeah, I'm a Jeff Hardy fan. I don't know why. I don't know why anymore. Because it's this utter and complete bullshit. The TNA does more to damage guys with actual credibility than anything, any internet rumor can do.
And it's gonna be a sad day when I don't like the fact that, you know, we've had so many wrestler deaths. I had to deal with Eddie, and that fucked me up. I had to deal with Chris Benoit, and God, I remember I was at work, and my friend Donovan calls me at work. He used to work with me, and he goes, "Dude, Vince canceled Raw." I'm like, "Fuck you, Vince never canceled Raw." He's like, "I'm serious. Vince canceled Raw because Chris Benoit died." And I was fucking devastated. And then to find out what happened, I was even more devastated. I am sick of my favorite wrestlers fucking dying. And I just know that one morning I'm going to wake up and it's going to be Jeff Hardy dies at the age of, what, 34?
Yeah, about 34.
Just in, you guys. Sorry to interrupt you, but you know Jeff Hardy's drug case?
Oh.
Apparently they've had a plea agreement agreed for about a few months now. However, very recently, one side pulled out of the deal. Can you guess which side? It doesn't say which side, but considering all the shit that just happened, which side do you think pulled out and is now pushing for a harder sentence?
Oh, thank God. I
don't want him to go to. I don't even want him to go to prison. I just want him. And the fact that he has so many people around him that enable him. His fucking brother goes on Twitter and talks about how he went out fucking drinking last night, and he says Jeff's okay. Jeff's not okay, you insufferable douchebag. He went out with the intention of wrestling a match where he's fucked up. What the fuck is up with you?
You know what? Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. We've had this before. We literally have had wrestlers go out, coked out of their minds on pay-per-view. We've had them come out drunk off their asses. Hell, some of the best and most memorable promos you can remember from guys like Chris Jericho and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The guys are drunk as hell.
Well, those are promos. It's like there's a difference between doing a promo drunk and going to a match drunk, splitting someone's head open.
Yeah.
Speaking of splitting somebody's head open, there's a precedent for that. Mr. Anderson got his noodles scrambled.
Yeah,
and Jeff was fucked up. It baffles me. It boggles the fucking mind to think they let this guy get away with this.
And it was only after that Jeff came out that Eric Bischoff and Vince Russo were looking at this backstage and going, you know what? This might not be the best idea. And Vince looks at Eric and goes, I know, it's great. This is going to put asses in the seat. This is going to get all those IWC guys talking. I know, it's lovely. And guess what? It worked.
Because they had to know that Jeff was fucked up. They had to know.
Well, of course they did. They had a video package to cover how short the frickin' pay-per-view was, which didn't help considering it finished about frickin' 20 minutes before scheduled ending time.
You know, it's just. I am simply amazed. I mean, I didn't watch the pay-per-view. I'm going to admit this is why there are no notes for this week. I'm reading a recap. I watched, the only thing I watched was a YouTube capture of the main event.
The entire main event on YouTube. How sad is that?
Yeah. I know. The entire main event on YouTube in one part. That's all I've seen. Okay? It's just, I am completely amazed that this company that is bleeding money like it is, that isn't even getting any amount of money back from like ticket sales for tape shows. Your house shows should not be your main source of income, because you know what you should be getting money off of your ticket sales for your live events that you sell, Impact. But you can get these fucking tickets for free when you go to Universal Studios. They're included in the price of your fucking park ticket.
And that's something that someone else pointed out to me. They said, you know what, maybe they don't have to pay to actually get into TNA, but they still have to pay to get in the park.
But that money is not going to TNA. That money is going to Universal Studios.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that people still paid for this fucking show.
And I am so sorry for anybody who paid actual money for this pay-per-view. I am so sorry for
$45, you guys. That's how much the pay-per-view cost.
I am so sorry for bar owners, which, show wrestling pay-per-views, on every couple of weeks, who had to pay for the privilege of showing this crap.
I feel sorry for anybody who chose this over WrestleMania.
I feel sorry for anybody who came out and said, man, this is going to be a lot better than WrestleMania. I feel sorry for those people. And but my rage is not directed at Jeff Hardy.
It should be.
I know it should be. Hold on. My rage is directed at fucking Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, Hulk Hogan, Jerry Jarrett, Jeff Jarrett, and of course, the woman of the hour, Dixie Carter.
Who will go and do interviews about what a great family that fucking TNA is and how they're so much better than Vince. And Vince doesn't really care about his guys the way we care about ours,
And then,
bullshit.
Oh, hey, Taylor Wilde, while she was the Knockouts champion, had to have a second job at Sunglasses Hut, and then she quit when she was recognized.
And not only she quit, that means her living income essentially dried up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big fucking happy family, Dixie.
If you're a
That's
man
right.
and you're good with you're in good with Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
You have to be a man over 40.
Yeah, a man over 40. I continue this entire company continues to amaze me and continues to enrage me. Okay? With the with the just all of the shit that they do. I'm simply amazed. Jeff Hardy going out there severely impaired and now being sent home with pay, and now his court cases gets to drag out for another 6-7 months.
How can they live with them? How can they honestly say, go home every night and say, you know what, guys, we put on a great TV product tonight?
Because there's yes men who will always respond with, it's not WWE PG.
You know what? I would trade all the blood, all the not WWE PG-ness, all of that shit. Okay? I would say, yeah, you're doing a good job. If they put out a goddamn product that I, as a wrestling fan, could watch and go, man, this is pretty good. I can't.
And they have all the talent in the world to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They have everything. They have all the pieces right there. They have people that Vince would love to have.
But
that he would love to have.
He won't touch anymore because they're associated with TNA. I mean, you get guys who used to be in the WWE, who honestly are a billion times better than what they were when they left. But now Vince won't push them because, well, he's fearful of the fact that, hey, they're in TNA. This might not be a good thing. TNA has damaged so many wrestlers' credibility. We'll look at Gail Kim. Where the fuck has she been since she came back from TNA? You know, let's look at Christian. Where the fuck has he been since coming back from TNA? Granted, he was ECW champion for a while,
and they're doing stuff with him now. So I guess that's something, But I get what you're saying.
Yeah. But guys who would make a killing for the WWE, guys like Samoa Joe, guys like AJ Styles, guys like P.D. Williams,
Sabin and Shelley,
even Jen Me, even though they're relatively new, okay? Beer Money.
Yeah, let's go back to Generation Me for a second, because let's compare and contrast the Jeff Hardy incident with the Generation Me incident, and the responses that we've seen thus far.
Mm-hmm.
Generation Me, if you don't know, and you should, if you don't, shame on you, could reach was it the Genesis pay-per-view?
No, it was Bound. It was Bound for Glory.
No, it wasn't Bound for Glory. It was whatever the last pay-per-view they had was, since we can't be bothered to fucking
Against
remember.
all odds.
Against all odds. Thank you. Yeah, against all odds. Generation Me's, for whatever reason, their plane had to be delayed in Utah, and they couldn't fly out to the pay-per-view in time. And then they tweeted saying that, sorry guys, we can't make the pay-per-view on time. The planes just simply aren't flying out here. Then Jeff Jarrett gets on Twitter and acts unprofessional.
Oh, not even. They basically say, oh, if we just like to tell the fans that we're not in there's nothing wrong with us in terms of the company. Like, there's no problems. Like, everything will smooth over. And Jeff Jarrett tweets, really?
So, and then we've seen thus far Generation Me effectively becoming Generation Jobber.
Yeah.
And now, like I said earlier, Jeff Hardy's punishment for ruining a main event, coming and being absolutely dangerous. 'Cause I want to point this out. I think some people are missing. Do you know how truly dangerously unpredictable a junkhead could be? What if Jeff Hardy said, "No, I want that title," and stabbed Sting?
He was already trying to kick out of the fucking pin that Sting had on him, and Sting had to fight him down.
But in terms of dangerous, we already mentioned the Anderson chair shot.
Yeah.
He didn't try to do that on purpose, but that's still dangerous, and that's still result of inebriation.
Mm-hmm. Or some form of impairment. He has literally taken this whole Antichrist of wrestling bullshit, and I really am the Antichrist of wrestling. Well, you know what? Maybe the Jesus Christ of wrestling needs to come and kick your ass.
I'd pay to see that. I guess that would be some Punk, though. But now let me finish up my point.
Please do.
My point was, his punishment was to be sent home with pay. What we in real industries like to call paid vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to go home and smoke whatever he has that didn't get burned up in his trailer fire.
That mat set. I'm sorry. Like I've said this before, and I'll keep saying it. I love him to death. But instead of embracing this shit, TNA needs to say, Jeff, look, you're obviously not clean. You need to take what Vince McMahon has offered. Vince McMahon has offered any wrestler who works for the WWE, doesn't matter if they are working, if they need to enter rehab, be it for steroids, be it for drugs, be it for alcohol, they'll say, I'll pay for it. Jeff needs to take that before it's too late.
No, but you know the thing is that they don't have drug testing now. They don't have drug testing. They don't have blood testing.
They don't have any testing.
How do you not have blood testing on a show in which Ric Flair, who has fucked more whores than Ron Jeremy, how do you not have blood testing on your program?
I believe it was Leaf pointed out that might be another reason WWE's leery to deal with TNA, because they might be carrying something.
Mm-hmm.
At least Matt Morgan didn't have to worry about getting Hep C in his fucking fucked up finish. God
yeah,
damn.
there's that. But again, I'm sorry, but this is just.
We have been ranting about this same match, but it's the only goddamn thing on this pay-per-view worth talking about.
Everything else is just there.
Everything else in the long term was small potatoes.
Yeah, this is possibly the most damaging thing TNA could ever do to themselves.
Yeah, and we bitched about the rip-off Undertaker promo. About how much that was a bad move.
Yeah, that was just stupid. At least that wasn't dangerous.
Yeah. But
you know what? I can't believe the balls of Dixie Carter to claim in every interview that TNA, we actually care about our wrestlers, and flat out lying in front of Congress. Oh yes, we have a comprehensive drug plan, and really. Well, if you have a drug plan, apparently it's never been your intention to fucking do anything with it.